Because you the type be like, oh, I'm a Virgo. I don't want to talk to nobody today or tomorrow or the next one.
I'm gonna figure
like
it out.
so.
I'm gonna figure it out. Joyhdae.
Ryan.
Virgo season.
What that?
Did I ever tell you about the time I was in the river? Right, I was stuck, but I didn't believe I was stuck. Did I ever tell you about that?
You were stuck in the river, but you didn't believe you were stuck in the river. So what did you think you were stuck in?
I was in denial. I mean, sometimes these people don't make it to the end where the dad jokes land. So, you know,
So
maybe
this
I
is
just
how
figured
we're-
I'd
so
give it to them in the beginning.
That's how we're starting. Okay.
Yeah.
I just, wow. But you know what's funny about that is that would be a really great seg into like the first thing that I want to talk about this week. I don't know if we want to jump right in or if we want to check in with each other first.
We could check in after. We'll jump right in. Go for it.
Because you know who else is in denial a lot of the times? People on the internet who swear up and down they could beat these football players and athletes up, as evidenced by the 6 guys who thought they could beat up Cam Newton and got tossed around like they were children in a playground. Like, y'all Twitter fingers and y'all social media personalities really have y'all thinking that y'all are the same level of these athletes. And I know they seem smaller on TV than in real life.
They do seem. They do.
But they're not.
But have you seen Cam Newton?
Yes.
All cartoonish.
Yes.
6'5".
Yes.
250 of him.
Cam
even
Newton
though he looks
dresses
like a
an
cartoon.
extra from The Princess and the Frog. Yes, I've seen it. Yes.
That man is a gigantic man.
Yes.
Like I don't know. I mean, I'm a big dude. I'm no longer 250, but like I mean, this is a trained professional since he was like in the womb. So like I mean, brick wall. I don't get it.
Denial.
I don't get it.
Denial. That's what it is.
Yeah.
Denial. So for those of you who may not know what happened, Cam Newton was at a 7-versus-7 football event in Atlanta, which was organized by his foundation, C1N, and they usually host these types of league tournaments across the country.
Right.
Beforehand, there were some gentlemen a part of, I can never remember this. I always want to call them the Teaspoon Crew. I don't remember what their acronym stands for, but I know it starts with a T. Who was talking a whole lot of crap about Cam Newton prior to the beatdown.
Right. I've heard different things. I don't know.
I've heard everybody was
talking about him.
I heard
talking
everybody
about
was
them.
talking, but I definitely saw a video of one of the guys talking crap. Like I definitely saw a video right before the beatdown happened.
Right.
So apparently, whatever was said, words were exchanged between these groups of men, and I always say Delulu is the Salulu. This is not the type of Delulu that I am talking about. Thought that they could beat up Cam Newton. So it was 6 men against Cam Newton. Cam Newton mollywhopped this entire crew. Every member of that crew should be ashamed of themselves.
All I saw was him holding someone and then flinging them across this the platform or whatever they were standing on. I was just like, oh yeah. So once you saw that first one, why did you think that you should join in to also get your ass whooped? I don't know. I don't get it. I don't know.
Cam Newton picked up one of them men like fathers do when their children act up at McDonald's in the bouncy house. You know what I mean? Like he essentially just had him by his scruff and was like, get out of here. Like it was just embarrassing on all fronts. The reason I respect Cam Newton and what he did though was his hat and that feather in his hat remains in place the entire time.
Yo, I saw a video of Rick Ross talking about the situation, and he was like, it's a bobby pin. Y'all girls know what we talking about. Like, there's no way.
I watched that video of Cam Newton tossing men as though he were literally in an anime, and that hat and that feather did not move, not even an inch. Like it didn't have to fall off his head, but you know how sometimes like things kind of get askew when
tilted.
You like
yeah.
That hat and that feather remained in place that whole time, and so I need to know, as a person who wears hats, wigs, and all kinds of things, I need Cam Newton to either come out with a line or something that I can partake in, because I need that type of security. I need that type of trust in the items that I place on my head that Cam Newton had on the items that he places on his head, because that
Your boy was pimping, baby. He was pimping, baby. Pimps don't ever get unfurled, or what's the word? Is that a word? That's the word?
I think it is.
Something like that. In that range, yeah. They don't.
I mean, I guess you can get the gist of what you're saying.
Sometimes the brain don't be braining, so here we go.
That's definitely one of those moments. Whenever I stutter, that means my brain is trying to catch up with what my thoughts are saying, and they're miscommunicating. They're not firing on all synapses. So the larger conversation at hand is, why y'all at a foundation event wanting to fight somebody?
I think what happened was, those sports emotions get real heavy, so I think what was happening was before the event or whatever, I don't know if you played sports when you were younger, but definitely this is what you do. You shit talk. This is what Jordan did best. All the greats do this really well. You get into people's heads. That's how you beat them. And so, they were probably talking back and forth from the beginning, and so some people just probably couldn't handle it, and that's kind of where I think this all happened. So I don't know.
It's just beyond me, because men like to tell women we're too emotional to run the country. Y'all can't even have a football game where y'all talk shit to each other and not fight. I'm just saying. Was it really that serious?
I think it was one of those things where, when you're that person, people can't stand it, people can't they get real up in their feelings that they're not that person,
Got it.
This happens with Beyonce, this happens with anybody, LeBron James, anybody else. So regardless, this is not the first time that they've been in this sort of match. So I feel like it's a year after year thing. Whatever sort of emotions that they had was probably building over the time. And so it was just that one wrong thing was probably said, and they was just all right, that's it. It's over. I'm going for the jugular. And the worst mistake they ever made.
Well, I'm going to need the Teaspoon Boys to reconvene and figure out something else, because fighting is not their strong suit at all.
Question for you. Well, you wouldn't know, but I just don't know how I go viral for getting my ass beat, and then I come home and be like, wife, so yeah, a thing happened today. I just don't know how I would do that.
Can I tell you the amount of ick that I would get if I saw my significant other get embarrassed like that and go viral, and then you want to come home and try to kiss me? Not right now, sir. We both need a break right now, because I need you to gather.
You see the way my shirt is ripped up? I kind of bought it this way,
No,
I thought it was a nice style.
No, you didn't. Because I definitely helped you pick that out this morning, and that's not how you left my house. No. I saw the video.
The door, we just got to make sure that the latch is on before we go to bed tonight, just in case.
Do you know the amount of embarrassment I would have if I had to say to my significant other, you were going to be a topic on a lot of lowbrow podcasts next week. A lot of men are going to have things to say about you next week. A lot of men who have convinced themselves that had it been them and their crew would not have gotten tossed like a bunch of Legos, are going to have a bunch of things to say. And you want to lay down next to me tonight? Not happening. Yeah. Not happening.
Yeah. So I think we get nostalgia of what we used to be. I think that's what happens, right? Because in my head, I still feel like I can do the things that I did when I was in my 20s and in my teens and things like that, right?
Okay.
Until I done told y'all I lost 37 pounds, and I'm feeling all fancy and stuff.
I'm gonna get you a t-shirt, because let me tell you something.
Every chance that I get, I'm gonna let y'all know. Every chance that I get. But what I'm gonna I know I put some hands up on a bag, and I was just I still got hands. And when I tell you I was winded like nobody's business, I don't know if I could do the things that I did back when I was 20. So I think that's what happened to these people.
I know that I cannot do the things that I used to do when I was 20, okay? When Megan Thee Stallion gets on stage and drops it like it's hot and make her butt talk, okay? I've never had a butt, so I never really can make my butt talk. But I had some moves on me when I was younger. I had some moves on me. Okay? Me trying to do that now would land me in the hospital. And I'm not, and I don't even mean the emergency room. I mean straight to a hospital bed.
Joyhdae, I am 6'4", just an inch shorter than Cam. Back in my teens, it was nothing for me to, like, just gingerly jump and dunk the ball. You know, it was so easy. Now, y'all lucky I'm not in the hospital. I'm not trying certain things anymore. I'm not doing it anymore.
Getting up in the morning, things are cracking that do not need to be cracking, that have never cracked before. I know my limitations. I'm going to need y'all to start knowing y'all limitations because y'all really think that y'all are it. Y'all are not it. Y'all are not.
The amount of times I say, oh, Lord, or Jesus, before I get out of the bed in the morning.
Wait a minute. For me to pull something from under my bed, like if I need to do like my closet swap, the amount of time that it takes me. Okay, well, I get down, I'm like, oh, God. And then I got to take a break. Listen.
So I have the Casper mattress. They not sponsoring, but like when I tell you, amazing. When I tell you, if I have a snack and I bring it to the room, children, come here. Take this out, put this in the garbage for me. Take this, because I'm not getting out of that bed. You know what it's gonna take for me to get out of that bed, Joyhdae? It's crazy.
I had the weirdest thought the other day. I was in bed, sleep, and the right side of my head was hurting in my sleep. So I convinced myself that I was having an aneurysm and that I was about to go on to glory. Okay, while I was, and then the thought crossed my mind: I'm going to be in this apartment dead for days before anybody realizes that I am dead.
You're saying this like it's a joke. This is not a joke, Joyhdae. Like you need to get the little,
if you say
button,
the goddamn
the
life
little
alert,
button, life alert that them old people be getting.
The amount of people that told me to just get a life alert button, I can't take none of y'all serious. I cannot take any of my friends serious. Okay.
No, this is dead ass. You laughing, but like literally, how would we know? Like I would be calling and be like, "Yo, Joyhdae just don't want to talk to me no more." And then like, how would we know?
The amount of people that said, "Yeah, because I will definitely call you," and then if you didn't answer, I'm like, "Oh, she's busy," and then like keep it moving. And I
this
was
is
like,
what I'm saying. Because you the type be like, oh, I'm a Virgo. I don't want to talk to nobody today or tomorrow or the next one.
I'm going to figure it out. So, I'm going to figure it out. Because I was definitely in bed like, yo, I'm having an aneurysm. And it's about the Lord said you had a great run.
You can get your AARP card and then you get a discount on the life alert. Like, I mean, you know
what? I may look into that tonight. 2 for 1. I may look into that tonight because even though if I'm having an aneurysm, I don't know that I'll be able to press the goddamn life alert button, but at least we know that I have it, Right. Something like, I don't know. We got to figure this stuff out though. Like, I've been thinking about this a little. I've been thinking about this a little bit though, because we're getting up there, so that means our parents are definitely getting up there. Right. So it's like it's just certain things you got to think about, like So I mean, I know we joking and laughing, but this is actually a serious topic. I mean, hopefully the Lord sees fit that I have more time on this earth, and He's not just gonna strike me that fast. Right. But I definitely been thinking about it because I was like literally in my bed, like, yo, it is my time to go. And I haven't taught Cash how to call 911 on my phone. What we gonna do?
Because that girl husky dog on the internet definitely be calling her own a bitches all day.
All day.
Like you could teach him. You could teach him how to call 911.
I may have to get him his own like little phone and be like, if you see me not moving, sir, you gotta, figure it out. Get to it. I don't know how they're gonna unlock the door because I put a chain on it, but we'll figure it out.
They could bust down the door with a chain for sure.
Now that I got my morbid thoughts out of the way, stop trying to beat up athletes because they're bigger than you. They will always be bigger than you. A lot of them will also have a lot more stamina and endurance than you because they literally get paid to have great stamina and endurance.
Listen,
the Lulu is not the Salulu in this case, okay?
Nah.
You are not equal to Cam Newton, to other people who think they could beat up the basketball players because they're a little skinnier than. Stop it.
I mean, I told y'all that I used to train in martial arts when I was younger. the first thing that you're supposed to do is try to avoid conflict, and you're supposed to get away from the conflict and all of that. Like, so listen, I'm Gucci because I'm never getting into a fight. It's not a thing.
My go-to has become just telling people, just know that I press charges.
My ego is not that crazy.
I press charges.
I'm gonna be all right.
I don't need to fight you, but you know, some people just don't ever. They don't ever stop, and they want to keep antagonizing you. You know, because they want you to get to that point. And that's really when I press charges. Not only do I press charges, I will sue you to the point where your kids will never know what it feels like to be successful. Don't play me, play Lotto. You have a better chance at winning.
Talking about suing, big lawsuit was announced this week.
By who?
Your Harlem best friend.
Dame Dash?
No, Diddy. Well, Dame Dash got to supposedly sell his portion of Rockefeller to pay for a judgment, and then Jay-Z and Kareem Biggs was like, nope, can't do that. That's not what the contract says. But they probably will buy it before he's able to sell it. But, you know, that's that Harlem. But there's other Harlem stuff going on. So here's
my thoughts on Diddy's new law case or civil suit or whatever this gentleman is doing. Do I think Diddy is a horrible person? And we learned that through Cassie? Yes. Do I think there's validity to what this man is saying? No. And the reason why I don't think there's validity to a lot of what this man is saying is that so far, a lot of the things that he has provided as evidence has already been disproven by people who are the actual people that he's purported to have been involved in the situation. First example, he included a picture of a man that he said was Stevie J having sex with a white man. A porn star came out and said, that is me, and then further provided evidence showing people that that was him. Then he showed images of these young women that he said were underage minors that Diddy was engaged with, and that his son Justin was engaged in inappropriate behavior with. One young woman has come forward to TMZ, and she's like, I'm actually 30 years old. I don't truly want to be involved in this because I have a family, but that is me, and provided them with evidence. And the other underage girl that he purported to have been somebody that Justin is involved with, is... I
thought it was Christian, but you're
right. No, it's Justin.
Yeah. Okay.
Is Justin's girlfriend. And has been his long-term girlfriend.
Right.
So while there may be validity to some of the things that this man has said,
the stuff,
he's already lost credibility on the things that he has chosen to lie about, in my opinion. And also the fact that prior to this, he had set up a GoFundMe to sue Diddy because he didn't get to go to the Grammys for his work on Diddy's last album. So this isn't someone that I personally think has been involved in the long haul. This seems to be like a most recent collaborator with Diddy. And if you knew all of these bad things about him and you still chose to work with him, but because you didn't get paid, now you want to sue him, I have a hard time believing you.
Yeah. I mean... Yeah, it's a lot. And what he's banking on is the fact that all these things are being piled up onto Diddy. And so I can't say this is all alleged, as they say. So I don't know. I don't have a dog in this fight. Is that what it is? Is that how you say that? Yeah. I really actually I might have a little dog in this fight, but I'll tell you offline. But I don't I don't know, but a lot has been going on. I don't know that Diddy comes back from any of this because, like, in the court of public opinion, what happens? Like, I don't know.
I mean, I don't think he comes back from this either, at least not right now. But people's memories are short.
That's true.
There's always a bigger, worse scandal to happen in which makes somebody else seem not as bad as they were before. You know what I mean? Like, things always happen. Right now, the cool thing to do is to hate on Diddy. And I get it. What he did to Cassie was absolutely atrocious. And, you know, I've always believed victims. But this is, to me, a clear case of a money grab and also trying to get in the spotlight. What I do hope is that Diddy does not decide, or his attorneys do not tell Diddy that he needs to sue this man for whatever he has, because his money's not long enough. You was just on GoFundMe trying to raise $50,000 to sue him. Don't get deposed, because once they start doing depositions and you start lying in depositions, now you're going to jail and you're going to have to pay this man money.
Yeah, the thing is, people that have money, they have no problem racking up the lawyers' fees.
At all. At all.
You know, so just off of fees alone, if you don't win, you're a rap. It's a
like,
rap.
It's okay.
It's a rap for your life, you know.
So it's like, it's just a waste of time. So at this point, he might as well just keep it mute, keep it cute, and keep it moving. Because the only person who seems rattled by this is Meek Mill. And I need him to get off Twitter. I need him.
Yo, this dude constantly does it to himself.
Twitter. I have never. He's another one that I genuinely think has a humiliation kink, because there's absolutely no way Meek Mill is as slow as he purports himself to be on social media. There's absolutely nobody else has responded to this man other than Stevie J saying like that wasn't him in the video, and then the porn star coming out and being like, that's not me. Meek Mill went on a whole tirade of how much he likes women's anatomy and spends so much time in women's anatomy. And it just becomes, you protest too much. Or as William Shakespeare would say, doth protests too much. Hang it up, flat screen. Hang it up.
Yeah.
Hang it up. Hang it up. Hang it up.
Yeah. Like, and he got new music coming out, so he didn't do himself any favors. No
favors whatsoever. You know who else? This is just a quick little tirade as well. Drake, if you are as obsessed with Tory Lanez as you make it out to be, go visit him. I'm pretty sure you can get a conjugal visit. There's no reason for you to tweet free Tory every time, at least once a month. I don't know why you insist upon keeping that young man's name alive in these streets, but you can go visit him. You can put money on his books. You can conjugal
Canada
visit.
Bruv, bro.
Y'all can go play patty cake in his jail cell. Whatever it is that you need to do to make yourself feel better about his situation. Leave the rest of us out of it. Okay? Thank you. My God. And another thing.
Tell us how you really feel. Oh.
And another thing. This is one last thing about hip hop. Okay? Vance put in the group chat last week a meme in which people had to pick 4 albums in which were 4 albums to get rid of out of 4 classic albums: Get Rich or Die Trying, The Carter 3, Graduation, and the Black Album. And the amount of you people who chose the classic ass Jay-Z album, the Black Album, had me appalled and in my feelings. Do you understand me? Lucifer, what more can I say? Jay-Z said, I wear a crisp pair of jeans and a button up, and then all of y'all changed y'all wardrobes. All of y'all hung up y'all jerseys, and you gonna tell me that album is not as classic as Get Rich or Die Trying? 50 Cent made y'all buy wife beaters, or what they call them now, whatever, them G-Unit tank tops, and then Jay-Z said that's not it, and y'all was mad. Why? Because y'all put them away to put on button-ups and jeans. Y'all playing with my emotions now. The Black Album is classic. Give it a Get Rich or Die Trying. That's it. Really was Get Rich or Die Trying or the Kanye one. But if we have to choose between that and that, Get Rich or Die Trying was not. Y'all are bugging. Y'all are bugging.
I had to step out of that group chat because when you and Vince get to going, like, there's no stopping y'all. And I was just like, I don't want to answer this question. I don't. Like, I enjoyed all of those albums.
Gracefully bowed out.
Every single one of them albums, you know, you understand? And it was just like every one of those albums is attached to like deep-rooted memories and emotions, you know. Get Rich or Die Trying, this is when I was living in Queens. Vance can't speak to Get Rich or Die Trying because he was deployed. Thank you for your service, sir. All right? But
I don't people think I'm making fun.
Right. But what I'm saying is that album, y'all can't say nothing. 50 was running shit back then at the time when that album came out. Lil Wayne also was running shit when the Carter 3 came out. Like, I mean, Jay, come on. Jay is Jay. Same situation. And Kanye was Kanye that we know at graduation. Like, so there's no way. And I was not answering that. And y'all can't make me answer it. My mama said I didn't have to.
And that's fine. Boom. I respect you. What I'm saying is, to those people who chose Get Rich or Die Trying over the Black Album, I just want to talk. I just want to talk. Because I just want to talk. Because it's just, the math isn't mathing. So I definitely was hanging up them G-Unit tanks and putting on crisp button-ups and jeans and was doing the whole, everything he said. Like,
I never bought one of them.
I'm bigging up my brother. I'm bigging up my brother. Like, y'all are, what? Okay. All right. I just had to get that off my chest. I
told y'all I gotta make them memes because like this is what y'all apparently want to talk about. So if I make these memes, maybe I'll gain some followers.
We already told you what you need to do to gain followers. You just don't listen.
We're not doing that. We're not doing that. I got a wife. Okay. You understand?
Well, I may have to talk to the wife and like, listen, we trying to get this money, and you know.
We're not doing that. We're not.
All right.
Anyway,
you know who else? You know who's been playing in y'all faces or who's playing in people's faces right now? AT&T.
Oh God. Oh.
Are you?
God.
Is AT&T your provider?
Yes, okay. AT&T has been my provider since the iPhone 3G. When I got that iPhone, that was the only place you could have your service, AT&T. And I'm a loyal ass Virgo. Virgo season. I'm a loyal Virgo. And so I've been with them since then. It's been what? God knows, 13 years. It's been a minute because 12 years. I don't know.
I used to be an AT&T subscriber myself until they played in my face, and then I moved, and so now I'm with Verizon. But last week or a week ago, or 2 weeks ago, there was an outage. Y'all woke up.
Yes.
Y'all ain't have no service. Y'all couldn't do nothing.
Okay.
Only on Wi-Fi.
So everybody woke up at normal like time, like 6, 7, 8. Whatever. That's the time that y'all randoms wake up. I was up at 3 a.m. and I didn't have no damn service at 3 a.m. I didn't know I didn't have service because I was inside my house. I was connected to the Wi-Fi. When I went outside, tried to put the GPS in because, I was driving. I like to drive around the traffic, even though there ain't no traffic at 4 o'clock in the morning. I put the GPS on. I couldn't figure it out because it was SOS. I was like, what the hell wrong with my phone? Restart my phone a couple times. Nothing was going on. I was like, you can't tell me that I have to buy an iPhone 15. I don't want to. I have to. I was like, what's going on? Like, I was so upset. I was so heated for like a good half of the day today. This is not what you're supposed to do. What happened if my kids had an emergency today? What was I going to do?
Nothing.
How are they going to reach me?
They weren't. Do you know how much?
This is crazy.
Do you want to know how much your inconvenience is worth to AT&T?
I know. They texted me with the nonsense, but you could tell the people.
$5 credit for the outage that lasted for most of the day. A $5 credit. When I tell you, when they do that class action lawsuit, because I know it's coming. I know people already, and you know how much attorneys.
You know how much we gonna get in that damn class action today? You know how much we gonna get? $5. We gonna get $5. We gonna get another $5. What are you talking about? In 5 years, that's when we gonna get it.
I dead ass just got an email for something that I think I put in for somebody else's class action lawsuit, and I got $1.11. Okay.
Listen, I've gotten 38 cents. I fill out every single one of them damn class actions, by the way.
Me too.
Because you never know. It might be that one that you get that million. You never know. But it's always 38 cents.
I've gotten hundreds, but I've never gotten million. Like, I've never gotten
what class action? What class action you got?
AT&T one, actually.
Hundreds.
I got hundreds.
That's crazy.
They sent me
that's
like 3
crazy.
checks. I had gotten 3 checks. One was like 100 and something, and it was like 65, and then it was like 85 or something like that. Yeah.
That's wild.
But
that's wild. Yeah, they playing in my face.
They playing in your face,
and
especially because
I don't appreciate it.
They said this the outage was attributed to a software update going wrong.
Listen.
So y'all don't have no contingencies.
We're expanding our services, and something went wrong. They said so many words and said absolutely nothing in that press in that press release. Then the conspiracy theorists out there. They said that around the same exact time that the outage happened, we had an immense solar flare. And so they're stating that the reason the outage happened was because of the solar flare. And AT&T doesn't want to admit that, their service is not able to stand up to solar flares, which absolutely makes no sense to me. So I don't know. This is all alleged and all theory, but I don't know.
My eyes were very squinty to you just now because I was like, this is not, the math isn't mathing with that.
Go on the internet. You will find this.
The more
it's big.
The more time I spend on the internet, the more scared I get because
this was on news. This was on news outlets
news outlets.
It's crazy. So they're saying it was either that or some sort of security breach, and AT&T is denying both of those. So I don't know. I know you need to give me my $5, even though you said you're gonna give me these $5 over the course of the next 2 billing cycles. I I don't understand. I'm gonna take it though, regardless, because I still need my phone, and I will take my little discount, whatever it is. But like, damn it, man.
To potentially impacted people. So how do they decide
exactly
who's been impacted? Just give it. It's $5 AT&T. The amount of money that they charge for service, you could give people. You get everybody they $5 back if that's all you giving them.
Right. I don't know, man. I don't know. I was highly heated. I had to go connect to random public Wi-Fi in order to reach out to my wife, and I don't know what that did. Like, so they're gonna have to pay me for that too.
Right.
Like, it's a whole bunch. Like, this is. I was
it's
thoroughly
you
upset.
Definitely texted the group chat like there's an outage, and I responded, and then in my mind I'm like, shit, there's an outage. But then I'm like, well, I just paid for my bus ticket, and my mama just called me. What is Ryan talking about? Because we Gucci over here. And then, and then like, as I looked into it, it was like only like a couple of Verizon and T-Mobile customers had been impacted. And the way Verizon and T-Mobile tried to spin it was basically like, y'all wasn't really impacted. Y'all tried to call people over on that other company that ain't working, but we good over here.
You should have seen how them damn T-Mobile co-workers of mine was all up in my face. Meanwhile, they regularly have one bar, so I don't know what we're talking about. Like,
let me tell you something. I used to also have T-Mobile before I landed at Verizon. What you mean I gotta get a booster in my house T-Mobile for me to get service? Isn't that what I'm paying you for?
Oh, these people playing in my face.
So now I gotta get a booster
in
my apartment in order for me to get cell phone service that I am paying you for because your cell phone service don't work in my house in New York City.
You know what the crazy part is? They're gonna charge us this $5, and within 5 months they're gonna raise the amount that you got to pay every month. That's what's gonna happen.
They're gonna be like, in order to provide you with better security and to avoid, we're upgrading our infrastructure, and in order to do that, we have to unfortunately pass off the cost of that to our loyal customers.
Every damn thing is going up. Every damn thing is going up, and except for my check.
Except for my check and like my love life, but we'll get into that another time. You know who else think they about to run everybody's pockets? Wendy's. Did you hear about this?
I did. Okay, go ahead. Explain to the people.
I need Dave to come back from the grave. He need to rise up and get his people together because what's happening is egregious. Okay?
Isn't Wendy herself running this company now? I thought it was his daughter.
I don't care who's running it. I want Dave because Dave would not let this happen. Okay? Because this is absolutely ludicrous. Now, if y'all don't know what I'm talking about, Wendy's is set to test dynamic or, as we know it, surge pricing. Early as next year, with plans to adjust menu prices throughout the day based on demand. Are you out y'all rabbit ass minds?
So, when, Wendy's is the only fast food restaurant next to the train station and it's raining and everybody got to go in and grab something real quick. It's a wrap for y'all asses. $800 million. Like, for a biscuit, for egg biscuit. Like, that's what it's going to be.
He was on to something with the 4 for $4s and the biggie bags. Like, I was with y'all. You know what I mean? I was with y'all with that. If I walk into Wendy's and my $1.19 or $2.19 junior bacon cheeseburger with no tomatoes costs $5, do you know what y'all are doing to y'all employees? Because not everybody's as gracious as me, just going to be like, you know what, forget it and walk out. People are going to attack y'all poor employees. Y'all not thinking.
So, I got beef with Wendy's now
no pun
at this
intended.
point. See, I didn't even see that. Anyway, but like, so ever since maybe 2018 or 19, every time around in December, you can buy a little keychain tag for a Frosty that you can have. Every single time you go into Wendy's, you can get a free Frosty every single year.
Okay. You had it.
Now I have it. I've had it every single year. I even have this year. But I lost 37 pounds. I don't have Frosties anymore.
Yo. Matter of fact, I'm going to get you a hat. I'm going to figure out what it's going to say, but it's going to make mention of this 37 pounds because not you talking about something. I get it every year, but this year I lost 37 pounds. When I tell you I can't stand you, Ryan.
So I'm upset with them for that. Wendy's is playing in our faces. They hooking us with one thing, and then they.
I know down to a T how much with tax my Wendy's order costs. Okay.
How often do you have Wendy's, Joyhdae?
I have Wendy's. Well, I used to have it very frequently. That's why I know. Right now, I'm down to once a week because I basically get my lunch into work.
Good for you.
But on my busiest day of the week, I get Wendy's because it's literally the fastest to come to me during the work week. And I intermittent fast, so by the time it's lunchtime, I'm hangry. And I need something in my system.
I think people shouldn't intermittent fast. I don't think so. I don't think it's a good idea. Because hangry is not a great idea. It's just not.
For me, it's so... My intermittent fasting, like, I'm smarter about it. Because I'm not fasting at peak times, right? So I basically fast from 8 p.m. to 12 p.m. I'm asleep most of that time.
No, I gotta eat breakfast. Breakfast is the best meal of the day.
I haven't eaten breakfast in such a long time. But what I would do, I would eat something unhealthy, right? Like I'd be like, let me get, and then I would eat that consistently, and then it would completely mess up my day. I generally prefer lunch and dinner. So I'll have like a tea or a chai latte in the morning. And that's usually good. So I'm usually hungry by the time I order lunch. But on my busiest days when I know that I'm not going to really be able to sit down and enjoy a meal, I'll have Wendy's.
Right. Gotcha.
So with that being said, if early next year I'm still enjoying Wendy's on my peak busy days and my meal does not cost what it's supposed to cost me, I need to speak to a manager. I want a credit because
you're not throwing chairs. You're not throwing chairs.
No, I'm not going to jail.
You're not hopping the counter. You're not doing that. You're not doing any of that.
If I hop the counter, I'm gonna embarrass myself. I'm going to end up in the hospital. Do you not understand? Let me just not go over this. I can't hop no counter. It'll be one leg. It'll be the slowest hop ever. One leg. Excuse me. Hold on. Give me a second.
Yo, so Joyhdae, at one point I used to work downtown, like near World Trade. And so I used to go to the Wendy's down there. And so if you're familiar with that Wendy's, it like the line snakes round and around and around, like if you go into like the amusement park.
Right.
Can you imagine I spend 30 of my lunch hour, trying to get to the friggin' counter, only for them to tell me my meal is 3, 4, 5 times the amount that it's supposed to be? Oh, people are hopping that counter. I'm just telling you. They're doing that.
Bring Dave back from the grave. Raise him. It's time. It is time for us to really start bringing people back from the dead because they're not doing it right now. They're not doing it right. And if it's his daughter that's running this, your daddy would be ashamed of you because we was always supposed to be affordable. That was Dave's whole dream, was for this to always be affordable. You making it unaffordable, miss. Wendy, you not acting like Dave's daughter. So
we'll see.
Saying.
We'll see what happens.
So there's been a little bit of controversy going on, per usual, around Russell Wilson and his relationship with his son, Little Future. He recently took Little Future to the NBA All-Star, and I believe ESPN, on one of the sports channels, referred to Little Future as Russell Wilson's son.
Okay.
And Future's fatherless, that's what I call Future's angry Twitter mob of people, were up in arms that Little Future was called Russell Wilson's son because, according to them, he has a father and it is Future.
Oh my God.
And while we know that his father is Future, when's the last time we've seen this little boy with Future?
I just don't understand what people understand the term to mean.
They think he's replacing Future in Little Future's life.
Okay. I'm just saying, if he lives with them,
yes,
and this person is married to his mother,
of course,
and he fathers him,
yes,
you know what I mean. I would think he's the father.
You have something that I like to call common sense. Future's fatherless don't have common sense because
I don't get it.
They don't have. Here's the thing. These are the same men who are also running around not being fathers to their own children and get upset when the mother of their children move on and another man steps in and becomes the, as they say, father who steps up. Okay,
right.
I'm not the
and you know what that takes?
The dad who steps up.
Do you know what that takes? Like, I mean, that takes like you can't find too many men that's out here willing to do that. You understand? And so to be able to actually do it and be good at it and be willing to do it and be a good role model for this person as they grow up and, you know, become an upstanding person in society. Like, we need more of these people. Like, why are people mad that he's doing right by a child? Like, this doesn't make sense.
Because they've created a scenario in their mind that even though Future's the hardest and he's whatever he is to them, that somehow Future is hurting because his son is being cared for by another man who's married to his son's mother. I need y'all to be so for real. Little Future literally lives in the same house as Russell Wilson. Russell Wilson takes Little Future. I've seen them golfing. I've seen them playing football. I've seen them wearing matching clothes. I've seen them do all kinds of father-son activity.
Come on.
Since that baby was a baby. That man has been probably more consistent than his own father. We have not.
You can remove the probably word.
We have
you
not
can remove that probably word.
Big Future with Little Future since the pandemic. Okay?
This annoys me so much for so many reasons.
I just need y'all, the fatherless, and I mean that in both ways. Y'all are fatherless and y'all are being fatherless to other people, to get a grip on reality. It's not how it works. Future made a decision. If Future wanted to be an active parent in his son's life, Future has money. There's no reason for Future to not be active in his son's life. That is an active choice that Future has made. Little Future is lucky that he has a man that is willing to accept him as his own and not treat him as an other because he has children with his mother and he's married to his mother, which a lot of kids, unfortunately, go through. Yeah. I need y'all to get a grip.
See, I can't speak to what Future is doing with his son or not because I don't know. I don't know that. But what I can say is that a lot of women are out here complaining about the quality of men that are out here for them right now. A lot of those same women are looking at Russell and how he treats Sierra as like the gold standard. All right. Mm-hmm. So now, if this is the person that is the example for Little Future, look who they're putting into the world for your daughters. So why are we upset with this? This makes absolutely no sense. Absolutely no sense. But I digress.
I need y'all to focus on your own parenting issues because I know all of y'all loud ones and you pick-me's, y'all have your own issues that y'all need to be working out with the parent that you co-parent, you're supposed to be co-parenting your children with. Because nobody who has a healthy co-parenting situation would see an issue with this situation that is going on in Russell Wilson, Sierra, and Future, and Little Future's lives. Because Little Future is loved and taken care of in totality, hands down. So, fatherless, find something else to be upset about.
Point blank, period.
And if Future makes a song, I'm just letting Future know right now, if you write a song about Russell Wilson, all he gonna do is get Sierra pregnant for the umpteenth time. Every time you mention that man in a song, he go and he has sex with Sierra and he impregnates her. Leave them alone. And he does that because he loves her, but also because they know it makes you bad. Leave them alone.
I can't say that's the reason why they do it, but
I'm not saying that's really the reason why, but every time, without fail, Future mentions Russell Wilson in a song, 6 months later we find out Sierra's 3 months pregnant. Leave them alone.
Yeah.
Leave them alone. Okay? You're putting a battery in Russell Wilson's back, and it's not the type of battery you want to put in his back, sir.
Right.
So now we scamming children. Now we scamming the babies.
Apparently.
Oh, my God. Have you heard about Fire Festival? You called it 1.5?
Definitely called it fire. Fire 1.5 for sure. Because, like, what? Like,
this is
America's
so
having a field day with this. America's having a field day.
Because we're happy that it's not us.
TikTok is on fire.
That it's not us. Okay? Because we fought for a lot of things. So I'm glad it's not us.
Yeah.
So for anybody who doesn't know, in Glasgow, there was a website. I
think it's Glasgow.
I say Glasgow. I don't care what nobody else say. That's me being New York and Glasgow. That's how it's spelled. Okay, I'm phonetic. No, there was a website set up for Willy's Chocolate Experience that featured amazing footage of amazing images of 12-foot lollipop trees and all kinds of candy roads and big old bars of chocolate. It's supposed to be inspired by the beloved Willy Wonka character. And it boasted having an enchanted garden, a twilight tunnel, and an imagination lab.
Listen.
$35 a ticket. Promised a surprise at every turn. And boy, when I tell you, were people surprised.
All I'm going to say today, before you start, two things. He couldn't use Wonka because they was like, no. We will not be associated with this in any shape or form. Not at all. No. We're not doing that. No. Also, secondly, if I had showed this flyer to my oldest daughter and told her, this Saturday, we're going to this thing, the way she would have lost her shit. When I tell you she would have lost her... Like, if I could feed her chocolate for breakfast, lunch, dinner, snacks, if the water that came from the shower was chocolate rain,
she'd be the happiest
she would be ever. Listen, so can you imagine if I was the parent bringing her to this thing? All right, anyway, continue. Sorry.
So a bunch of families turned up, and boy, did they walked into an abandoned, empty warehouse with a couple of very tacky looking rainbows.
Oh my God.
A couple of large chocolate bars, like 2 or 3 chocolate bars. Actors who didn't have no idea at what roles they were playing, who were basically given AI generated scripts like 5 minutes before the doors opened and were trying their poor best to make something happen. Just for their children, $35 for their children to be given half a cup of lemonade and a small ration of jelly beans.
Yo, the small ration of jelly beans was 3 jelly beans each, Joyhdae. 3 jelly beans.
Let me tell you something. I just said that I'm not violent, but if my child were involved, the way I would turn into a violent person, because what do you mean? What did you mean?
3 jelly beans.
3 jelly beans and half a cup of lemonade?
No, it was a third. I think it was a third of a cup of lemonade.
I'm seeing half a cup. Third and
That's
half.
That's worse than Fire Festival, Joyhdae.
No, this is worse. No, because Fire Festival literally put those people in
on a different island. But what I'm saying, I'm talking about the food that they got. I'm talking about the food.
This food is worse. Yeah, no, this food is definitely worse. People got upset. Obviously, police were called. The poor actors have taken to social media because they feel like they got to defend themselves because at first, like, the media was showing them. They showed one of the women who was supposed to be one of the Oompa Loompas.
Right.
And if I would have seen her, me and my family turning and walking around, like we're walking out because she looked miserable. She looked like
she was trying her damnedest. She was trying real hard.
Either. So at that point, I'd have been like, you know what, baby, it's time for us to go because she's not making me feel good about this at all. So it was organized by a company called the House of Illuminati, which there y'all go. Yes, y'all always talk about the Illuminati got their hands and everything. They can't even make a Willy Wonka chocolate festival pull off, but okay.
Oh my gosh.
These poor people. Apparently, he told everyone that they would get full refunds, and admitted that AI was used to generate much of the marketing for the event.
All of it.
Literally all of it. But the other thing too that I need these parents to be so for real about, like I'm looking at this flyer, where would this have come into play at all?
I don't know. Like, I mean, honestly, it definitely looked AI generated, but if it was to be even a fraction of what the flyer was promoting, this would have been an amazing event for my child. I'm just saying, it would have been amazing if it lived up to what it was supposed to be.
I feel like what happened was, obviously this company does not have money, and they were banking on, they should have pre-sold tickets, because like a couple of balloon arches, like there's some things that they could have done to make like the difference. A couple of pizza boxes, 3 jelly beans, and half a cup of lemonade. So you deserve to have your ass beat by these parents.
This guy, so what was the name of the Fire Festival guy again?
Billy McFarland?
Yeah. Yes. This person, also, his name is Billy Cool or something
Billy Cool.
Like that.
It's that name.
It's the name.
Let me say something. Somebody invite me to something and they tell me the owner of the company's name is Billy. I'm not going.
Yo, the man did, I don't know, they did like, I was in a deep dive or whatever. This person used AI to release 17 or 16 books last year on Amazon, all written by AI. This guy was literally fueling his whole life off of AI. And I mean, he deserves jail time. The people that called the cops was completely on point with that. Like, what are you talking about?
He sent these kids into a large warehouse with 2 balloons and some thoughts and dreams. That's what he said.
Thoughts and dreams.
I'm looking at some pictures now. They said the event featured a character called the Unknown, who was absent from the traditional Willy Wonka plotline. And if I would have walked in and saw this woman with this silver mask on her face that does not look very child friendly, what do we?
They said kids are having nightmares from seeing this person
like,
that was just made up. They said that the actors had to improvise because the scripts that they were given were complete AI gibberish.
I'm seeing this now. Last summer, an author with the same name self-published 17 novels that were listed on Amazon, with one of them, Operation Inoculation, described as a conspiratorial journey into vaccination truths. The author's biographical information describes him as an enigmatic wordsmith from the bustling streets of Glasgow and a rising star of the literary world.
Man, the gumption. Like, I just wish I had I had little fear when it comes to these things, because the amount of ideas that I come up with, I could be rich. I could be very rich. I'm like, I just can't do certain things. I just can't.
Integrity. He had somebody play a character called Willy McDuff that was supposed to be his take on Willy Wonka. Throw this man in jail. Yo,
unbelievable.
Oh my God, the Unknown, a character absent from the traditional Wonka plotline who was trying to steal Willy's anti-graffiti gobstopper. Throw this man in jail.
The actors, they say he said that he's giving them their money back, all the people that paid or whatever. I don't know how he's going to do that, because I'm sure he used that money to buy whatever random things that were in there. Even the actors haven't been paid yet.
He promised them $500. First of all, I need y'all to increase y'all prices, first and foremost. Second of all, y'all not seeing that money from this man.
$500, Joyhdae, $500 for a day rate is not terrible. Like, how many people that make a $500 a day? I mean, yeah, you should be possibly, but like, I'm just saying, this is not bad for a few hours.
You gotta raise your prices, because he got to know that you serious. Because Willy McDuff, Ryan,
he couldn't use Wonka, man. He couldn't use Wonka. They was like
Willy the Chocolate Man, Willy McDuff.
I feel sorry for these kids. These kids are traumatized for life. For life. They're going to remember this stuff for life, because at this point, all of these things are a bit larger than life at this point for the little kids. That's true. So
wow. All right. This week we're not going to be too serious, because I feel like we get too serious sometimes. So I had a question for you.
Okay.
Before I go to my second question, but I saw this on, I peruse Elon's app from time to time looking for content sometimes, because I'll get some of the wildest stories off of Elon's app.
Right.
And I saw something where somebody asked her audience, what's your favorite low stake conspiracy theory? Meaning something that's harmless, but like you genuinely believe down to your toes that this is something that is happening.
Gotcha. So you did give me this question a couple of days in advance. So I was perusing, thinking, because, you know, I'm low-key a conspiracy theorist.
Right.
But I was just like, I'm going to throw you for a loop real quick.
Okay.
Low-stakes conspiracy theory. Wendy's is fucking with y'all. Wendy's just wants y'all to talk about them. They not doing no damn surge pricing. Are y'all serious? That's never happening. That is never happening. I think that's... I think that's what it is.
Year, so we can circle back to this, and I'll be like, "Let's run that clip back. Run that clip back."
They're keeping themselves in the forefront of your mind, so you could be like, you know what? Let me go grab some Wendy's before they start charging me an arm and a leg. And this is so that when the quarterly numbers come out, like you can see a nice little boost around this time because of this. Yo, have you ever been on Wendy's social media? They're the biggest trolls ever. What are you talking about? Like, why could this not be a troll? This is a troll.
I got this from the news. Y'all gotta.
Yes, exactly.
The news.
That's the best way to do it. That's the best way to do it.
Okay, I'm not mad at that. I'm not mad at that. We will circle back next year at the end of the year. Next year. We'll wrap it up. If we don't see, we'll include it in our Virgo season wrap up. If Wendy's does not do surge pricing.
I did a good job earlier talking you through that whole situation, knowing that I was about to tell you that this is my conspiracy theory. Because
you did.
I don't believe it. There's no way. There's no way.
I know people are gonna laugh at my low stakes theory, but when I tell you I genuinely believe this to the soul of me.
Go ahead.
Byron Allen is a criminal mastermind.
You said this numerous times.
And I believe it. Like, I know people think I'm joking. I'm not joking. I genuinely think that he is a criminal, because where did he come from? And then people keep trying to tell me, well, he's a comedian and he does this, that, and the third. Point me to a Byron Allen comedy tour. Or a Byron Allen comedy special. Point me to it, please. Because I have never seen it. I have never heard of it. Only time I hear about this man is when he's offering billions of dollars to buy television stations. And
I definitely can tell you that I've literally never heard of this man. I woke up one morning to the TV still being on from me falling asleep of watching something. And meanwhile, he's out here interviewing a bunch of comedians who are, you know, like in a, like, I guess, around situation, 4 or 5 of them trying to get the best joke. I didn't know he existed, and then all of a sudden I hear he's buying all of these things. I don't know where he came from. I don't know. I don't know if he's a criminal mastermind, but he's out here, and people are taking him seriously because he's buying stuff. He's buying a lot of stuff.
Something is not right. What could me? Let's be real for this. Let's think about this for a minute, okay? We know who some of the highest grossing comedians are, right? Like Chappelle, Chris Rock, whatever.
Right.
These Negroes is not buying television stations.
But the thing is, they don't purport themselves to be businessmen.
They don't purport themselves to be businessmen. But Byron Allen says he's a comedian before he's a businessman. Where is he getting this money?
I don't think he got the money from being a comedian. I think he got the money from making, like, supposedly smart decisions that, like, you know,
Ryan.
like more and more money from each decision. I don't know.
Ryan.
I'm just trying to devil's advocate, whatever. I don't know.
Like, let's be real. You find out that you have a business acumen that allegedly makes you a billionaire, right? Or you're good at securing funding. Right?
Right.
You don't say to yourself, well, let me start a business that does this, that, and the third for my underserved community of black folk.
Everybody don't reach to the underserved black folk. What are you talking about? They don't do that.
But he don't have a business. He's a comedian. And you're telling me that every time a network goes on sale, Byron Allen is the first person to be like, I got $1 billion on it? Criminal mastermind. Listen, if you even dabble in the world of finance is small. The world of billionaires is even smaller.
Yeah.
If Byron Allen was a legit billionaire, black billionaire,
yeah,
we would be hearing about Byron Allen. We don't hear about him until he pop up and say he's buying a TV station. He's a criminal mastermind.
Byron Allen net worth is saying, when I Google it, is $735 million. That's on Bloomberg as of January 31st, 2024.
Criminal.
I don't have your answers. I don't have the answers, Joyhdae.
You don't have to have the answers. I'm telling you the answer. Byron Allen is a criminal mastermind. And I'm taking that to the grave with me. It makes no sense. He knows
something that we don't know. He's buying up all the properties because it's just like all these people that's having 17, 18, 19 children. They all know something that I don't know, and I want to know it. Matter of fact,
I'm gonna take it one step further. You know how people say that like mattress firms, like mattress stores, are like a money laundering front? I bet you that's Byron Allen's business right there.
Yo, you're next level. We're not supposed to be a rumor mill, Joyhdae. We're just supposed to report what we see in the media.
This is my low state conspiracy theory. Byron Allen is the person who's funding the money laundering that goes through these mattress firms that we see. Because who walks into a mattress firm to buy a mattress? When the last time you walked to a mattress store and bought a mattress?
I don't think I've ever walked into a mattress store to buy a mattress.
But they just be all over the place. Talk about some mattress firm.
I bought the first mattress I bought was at IKEA.
See?
Every mattress I had before that, my mother bought. So, you know.
And I bet you she ain't buy it at no mattress store. I bet
she bought it at Sleepy's. I'm sure she bought it at Sleepy's. Sleepy's is what mattress firm used to be. Sleepy's. I don't know. Whatever. It always grossed me out that people out here testing out beds in these stores. Like, I mean, why am I rolling around on your funk? Like, I don't know. It's just weird.
That's my low stakes conspiracy theory.
All right.
Okay, this is my last question.
Wow.
Because I found this menu to be quite funny. And have you ever heard of Darius Cooks? He's a
social media chef, right?
Yes.
Yeah. He got the crazy Steve Harvey teeth and balls. Yeah, I know you're talking about. Yeah.
Absolutely terrible. Anyway, he is popular because I don't know why he's popular, but he is. And he does these things called, like, he does his little dinner parties. He's gotten in trouble for it in the past because he used to lie to, like, Airbnb hosts. And so he's basically, like, banned from hosting things on Airbnb because he would host, like, he would rent out people's homes without having, like, fully functional kitchens. Like, not fully functional kitchens, but, like, you can't really host a dinner party for 30 people in someone's private home.
Right,
You know what I mean?
Where
you're supposed to be preparing and prepping food and cross whatever. Anyway, how much would you pay for this experience? Okay? So these are your cocktails. The side piece, Hennessy sidecar with sidecar popsicle. Between the sheets, sparkling Hennessy fizz with rum. Entrees, fried chicken on a stick with Hennessy citrus hot sauce, collard green risotto, garnished with crispy collards. Cream spinach stuffed salmon with roasted garlic Hennessy cream, melted Brussels sprouts with beef bacon and roasted corn pico de gallo. Desserts, maple butter pecan ice cream with Hennessy caramel, salted caramel turtle brownie topped with Hennessy caramel glaze and roasted pecans, white chocolate Hennessy bread pudding with salted caramel sauce and vanilla bean ice cream. How much would you pay for that?
Okay, so first off, I would not be going to this event. Anywhere there's Hennessy, problems follow right close behind. So I can't do it. I get really angry on Hennessy. I don't drink Hennessy. I haven't drank Hennessy in years. So yeah, it's not for me. And then fried chicken on top of that. This is not an event for me. No, it's not happening.
It's not an event for anybody.
But for all of this Hennessy and the culinary experience, I don't even know a number, but it's definitely not in the double digits. It's got to be in the triple digits.
$300.
Okay.
Let me tell you something.
For how many people? For how many people? No. For how many people? How many people is? It's just one person.
Yeah, 300 per person.
Yeah, per person. Yeah, so I mean, it just depends on how many people are going to be there or whatever.
Something.
Like, I don't know.
Let me tell you something.
Why do you think this is a wrong number? $300. Why do you think that's the wrong number?
Because he's not a legitimate fucking chef. Okay. On top of him not being a chef, what the hell is a Hennessy Fizz?
Listen, Joyhdae,
Ryan,
there's many things you can do.
Do not. Do you understand me? Because this fuckery is why people don't take us serious in the first place, okay? Fried chicken on a stick with Hennessy citrus hot sauce.
Listen.
Roasted garlic Hennessy cream.
Yeah.
Hennessy caramel. Hennessy caramel glaze. First of all, he's not even sponsored by Hennessy. That's the part that makes this even more aggravating to me. Nothing on this, on top of that, goes together. That's the other part that's throwing me for a loop.
You don't think a caramel Hennessy something with like vanilla bean ice cream is not those don't go together? Okay, what are you talking about?
Dessert goes well. You serve me, what is fried chicken on a stick?
You put the fried chicken on the stick,
Ryan,
Joyhdae.
You know what? You can find us at Virgo season show because
that's my life. That's
Ryan out here acting complete.
I don't understand why you're so mad at this. Let the man have his scam, whatever.
First of all, he used to dox people. He would take their credit card information and put them on social media and people would call him out.
No way.
In particular,
we can't
black
do that.
women. He at one point when he went and got his tummy tuck, he was in his kitchen or in somebody's kitchen cooking with the what is it called? The collage
no
bag hanging out the
Joyhdae.
Side. Okay?
No way.
The fact that people still support him, he
No way.
He's not cooking this. He's not renting out a restaurant or even a space that allows for you to do actual cooking. You know what I mean? So you're not cross-contaminating. Because you have all these pecans. Suppose somebody has a nut allergy.
Yeah. Did you say shrimp as well?
Yes.
I thought I heard shrimp. Yeah. See? Yeah, it's a problem.
And then on top of that, when you see the pictures of these events, it's not like he's even... We know what your wife does, right? And she will set you up, right? She will have everything fine, china, all that. He's serving these things to people with plastic plates, plastic forks. At one point, when he was doing he had a punch bowl, but it wasn't even. They didn't even have the spatula to dip the punch out in. They had a cup in the punch bowl that they were serving people beverages with.
Not for no $300. Sorry, no. I'm sorry. I was trying to give him the benefit of the doubt, but the colostomy bag took me out. Sorry, took me out. And then paper plates. No thanks.
Sitting at tables, like when you rent tables, but they didn't even buy like real paper, like tablecloths for it. It would be like the plastic Party City paper.
My wife is not even anywhere close to it. I could see the steam coming out of her ears and her head. Like she can't handle that. Like no tablecloths.
And then he had the nerve to be on
no china.
Then he had the nerve to be on social media showing people how to make a snack. Do you want to know what the snack was? He went and bought
Hennessy.
a box. No, he went and bought a box of Popeye chicken. Then insisted upon making a roux. Okay?
Yeah.
Told people to put herbs de Provence in it, but if you don't have herbs de Provence, you can use Italian seasoning. Those are two completely different flavors.
I never paid any attention to this guy, but I thought he was a real chef.
Then put the Popeye's chicken in his roux when it was done.
Wait, he showed that he got the chicken from Popeyes?
He had a box. He said it don't matter where the fried chicken comes from.
Wow. Okay. Wow. Yo, you be ruining my life today. Like, I be living in my little la land, like, not thinking about nobody. This man in my brain was just a chef that was popular. I didn't pay no attention. I just saw these bright, shining white teeth and bald head, and I was like, oh, look at him. Look at the black man doing something. I didn't know. Colostomy bag and cooking, that took me
just
completely
in there,
out.
Cooking,
yeah.
And then cooking for people.
That just took me out.
than cooking for people. Oh. That's all I have to say on that.
All right. Today I met a chocolate woman, and you know, in this day and age, you got to ask pronouns.
Oh God.
What were the pronouns?
What were her pronouns? I don't know.
Her, she.
Get off my phone. Oh, but you're not even on my phone. Get off my screen. Get off my screen. Her, she. Oh, wait, there was one more topic that I forgot. Wait. Did you hear about Steve Harvey and his wife getting into a fight?
It was a family feud?
I hate you.
Yes!
I hate you. I was so proud of that one. Oh, I can't stand you.
Oh, you might get this. You might get this one. You heard about the guy who evaporated?
It's gonna be something missed. He was missed.
He'll be missed.
Which celebrity is always ready for cereal?
That I don't know.
Reese Witherspoon.
Oh, jeez. Okay.
Shout out to Asia for that one.
Reese Witherspoon. I don't know why she didn't give me that. That's my sister, and we're gonna have to have words. Reese Witherspoon. That's. Okay, so I found out today why they spell dark with a K.
Oh God, why?
Because you can't see in the dark. Okay. All right. VirgoSeasonShow@gmail.com is the email address. Send us emails. Something. Oh, I need y'all to also go. This is just gonna help for just my satisfaction, but it also helps with the show and all of that stuff. I know a lot of y'all are on YouTube now, but like it's still important for y'all to go on like Apple podcasts and give us a nice little 5-star rating. You could say actually whatever you want. The 5 stars is what actually matters. So just 5 stars, and you could cuss us out. I don't care what you do. Just do it, right? All right. That's all I'm asking. Thank you.
You can also find us on social media at Virgo Season Show. We're on TikTok, Instagram, and as Ryan said, YouTube. Spread the word. We're growing steady but surely, and yeah.
That's it. So, okay, right before we go. Mm-hmm. What's it called when a man finishes inside a woman?
The craziest thing about this is I don't know the answer, but I saw this on the socials and I kept scrolling because I was like, I don't even want to know. And the fact that you now are bringing it to me.
It's so out of pocket, and I don't want y'all to feel like these are my views. I just saw it and I was so appalled and I died laughing when I heard it. But anyway.
And it was being told by a man with an Australian accent, and I was like, I'm gonna keep it out of pocket.
Yeah.
They always out of pocket, and I kept scrolling. What do you call it, Ryan?
So when a man finishes inside a woman, it's called loading the dishwasher.
Virgo season!